Well, welcome. This is Eric Louviere. Welcome to this new series, 21 Louviere Laws. These are laws that are going to shape the way you do business and the way you achieve moving forward. These laws are designed to absolutely transform you, transform your life, and make everything different. I want you to be able to date back to this time when you went through these 21 Louviere laws and make that the difference between everything that happened before you went through these laws and everything that happened after you went through these laws. I'm going to work really hard to just blow your socks off with these 21 Louviere laws. I want these to absolutely transform, change, and adjust you to reach up to higher levels of success in your business. So let's just get started. I got a lot to cover. We're going to cover Louviere law number 1 right now, which I call your operating system. We're going to change your operating system, and we need you to understand that this is a major separator between those who make a lot of money and succeed and reach higher levels and those who remain the same old that they've been for many years or decades or their entire lives. You were born with an operating system because this operating system was handed down from the generations before you. You were raised by your parents. You were raised by aunts and uncles and cousins and sisters and brothers and neighbors and coaches and teachers and coworkers and bosses and the media and everything in between. You've been bombarded with an operating system that has all these belief systems within it, all these like corrupt files and viruses inside your operating system. And in order to get to where you want to go, you're going to have to do things differently than you've been doing things. So there's this operating system that you have, this mindset, this belief system, this habitual way of doing things, this lifestyle, this self-worth, how much you self-worth yourself, how high up the level do you let yourself go? Is a Mercedes too much for you in your mind? Like, would you throw that away because you're not worthy of that, or a Lamborghini, or $1 million house, or a vacation to some exotic place? Your operating system may not allow you to experience that. Your operating system could be what's screwing everything up for you for all these years or decades or your entire life. Now, I'm going to tell you, it's okay to be a broke person. When it comes to making money, it's all right to be broke. Okay? I mean, we're all broke from time to time. I don't care if you make millions. At times, you're broke. You may not let everybody know that because you love your status, but even millionaires are broke from time to time. It's fine to be broke. Being broke is a temporary economic condition. You're going to get out of that brokenness soon. You're in a new season, right? You're in winter. Everything's dying. You got to create spring. So you're broke. If you're broke, that's fine to be broke. Broke is fine. It's a temporary economic condition. It's not okay to be poor, though. See, poor is a state of mind. Poor is an operating system, and that's not good enough. In order to become rich or wealthy or successful and achieve left and right and to become something way more than you've been, you're going to have to change your operating system of that poverty-poor operating system into a new one. And it's a process, and you got to focus on it, and you got to be diligent with it to make that happen. But think about it. If you're currently not where you want to be and you beat yourself up about that, that's called condemnation. You need to stop doing that. Okay? It's okay. It's okay to forgive yourself for that and to move forward. All you got is today. You don't have yesterday anymore. It's gone. And you don't have tomorrow yet either. You have today. So start focusing on the moment. Start focusing on today. And understand that your operating system is stuck in default mode. You're in default mode. You know how like you could be on like Microsoft Word and you change the font from Arial font to Tahoma font or that pretty little cursive font or Courier or New Courier or whatever? Well, by doing that and changing the font, as soon as you save the document and then leave and you come back to Word later on, doesn't it start at Arial font again? Like it defaults you back to the old font again. You have to go into the operating system and change the default to Tahoma font if you want to use Tahoma font and not Arial font or Georgia font. Georgia. You got to change it. You got to change the operating system. Same thing you got to do in your own mind in order to get to the next level of income. I'm not the same person I was when I grew up. I came from the wrong side of the tracks. I grew up in poverty. Why did I get to this place where I have a multi-million-dollar house? The way I got there was by changing the operating system. So if you're stuck in default, understand it's not going to let you get there. You can't get there from where you currently are. You have to upgrade you. Your parents and your uncles and your aunts and your relatives and your friends and your teachers and your coaches and your neighbors and your coworkers and your significant other, your mates, your bosses, all of them are wrong. They're wrong. They're liars. They don't know what they're talking about. Forgive them, for they do not know, but they don't know. They don't know. They don't know. They don't know. Talk to people who do know. Get around people who are at that higher level. Don't go ask Aunt Jenny, who lives in a trailer down the street, advice about what you need to do to get to $1 million per year level. Aunt Jenny doesn't know. She doesn't have a clue. She loves you. She'll say nice things about you. She wants to protect you. She doesn't know squat about making $1 million a year. Don't listen to her. Don't listen to broke people. They don't know what they're talking about. Their operating systems are stuck in 1982. You need to graduate your operating system and upgrade that baby and invest in your operating system, polish it up, shine it up, give it some wings, and let that thing fly. But it's not just your parents and your uncles and your aunts and your relatives either. It's not just your friends and your coworkers and your old college buddies. It's not just them who have corrupted your operating system. You corrupted your operating system too. You're the most to blame. We're the most to blame for jacking up our own operating system. But it's also the media. Ooh. It's also the media. It's the people who are sending messages through your television. It's the people who are reaching out to you through the radio, through the satellite radio, through the magazines that you read, through the news channels that you're addicted to, possibly, to the movies that you go see at the theater, to the newspapers, if you still read those, to everything that you see, billboards, magazines, everything, media, television shows, books, gurus, all of these people, all of this media continues to corrupt your operating system. It continues to jack it up. It continues to make you feel like and think that you're not capable of doing it. You need to get away from all of that. Get away from all those people. Don't listen to them, and get around people like me. Get around people above me, because you know what they're going to do? They're going to reach down, grab you by your wrist, and yank you up to their level. They're going to say, you can do it too. Come on. They're going to say, why aren't you doing this, dummy? Do it. You can do it. It's easy. You got this down. You can do this. You can handle this. Come on. They'll reach down, grab you from your level, and yank you up to the next level. And you'll start to get new friends. You'll upgrade your friends. By upgrading your friends, you upgrade your operating system. So your operating system is jacked. It's got corrupt files. It's got viruses, right? Inundated, infested with viruses. It has incomplete programs, right? It's got buggy software, outdated and old, crummy, grinding software. Got to get it fixed, and the way to do that is invest in yourself. Now, if you want more, you've got to become more. Your operating system has to become more. So it's deeper than that. It's deeper than that Jim Rohn quote, if you want more, you need to become more. It's way deeper. You got to go deeper into the guts of this famous quote. If you want more, you've got to become more. Let me give you an example. I talked to someone recently who's been making $8,500 to $12,000 per month for the past 20 years as a doctor. That's operating system material if I've never heard it. Why hasn't this person ever made $100,000 per month? I've talked to attorneys, business owners, entrepreneurs, you name it, and they get stuck at the same income level year after year, month after month, year after year, decade after decade, and then the game's over. In fact, as they start getting older, they start earning even less because they feel in their operating system that they're not worthy or capable of doing more. Can't teach an old dog new tricks, right? It's deeper than that. Why hasn't that person ever made $100,000 a month? Why does the entrepreneur, if you're an entrepreneur listening to this right now, how much did you make last year? Year-end tax return. How much did you make the year before that? I'm talking about your income, adjusted gross income. How much did you make the year before that? Net. And the year before that? How much did you make 5 years ago? If you've been in business as an entrepreneur for a decade, how much did you earn a decade ago? Isn't it pretty much about the same on average? Why is that? It's your thermostat. It's your thermostat, like you have in your house, is stuck at 74 degrees. If it starts getting too hot, well, you adjust the thermostat, okay, to cool it off a little bit because you're getting uncomfortable, it's starting to get a little hot in the kitchen. So you adjust the air conditioner. Then you turn the air conditioner on. It's getting hot in here. It's getting uncomfortable. I'm starting to sweat. I'm starting to feel uncomfortable, and it's humid in here, and it feels bad. I don't like it. Make it a little colder. Or maybe it's too cold. Let's turn the heater on. It's freezing in here. I can feel it in my bones. It's so cold. Turn on the fireplace, will you? That's a thermostat. Same thing goes on with your operating system. That's why you snap back to where you started. That's why you can start to feel like you're making good momentum, and the next thing you know, you're right back where you started from. You got to change your thermostat. How do you do that? You raise your identity. Raise your identity. Write that down unless you're driving. Raise your identity. How do you think of yourself? Have you ever, like if you're someone who doesn't work out, but yet you go for a real long walk and you get some good exercise, and you come back and you tell your wife or husband, and you say, you know, I feel great. I really need to do this, what? More often. But why don't you? Because you snap back to the same operating system. You got to change your identity. Raise your identity. Drink your own Kool-Aid. Say how great you are to yourself every day. Gain more confidence. Believe in yourself. Nobody else is going to believe in you until you believe in yourself. You can do anything. With God, you can do anything, for He strengthens you. You can do anything. Raise your expectations of yourself. Really, the only difference between getting where you are now and where you want to be is diligence, which is a Louviere law we're going to cover later. But right now, understand that your operating system is jacking you up. It's breaking you down. It's snapping you back to the same old, same old. It's preventing you from getting to another level. It's holding you back. You're not allowing yourself to move to another level. I have lots of people who reach out to me that say things like, you know, Eric, I can't wait to work with you and to be one of your VIP clients, but I'm going to have to go do all this stuff first. And then I will be able to become your VIP client. Like they may feel like I got to go make a bunch of money, then I can afford you. I got to go do a bunch of stuff, then I'm worthy of you. I got to go pay my price, then I'm worthy of you. I got to go do my time, then I'm worthy of you. And that is a limited self-belief mindset because you're ready right now. It doesn't matter where you're at. You're ready right now. What you might be doing is holding yourself back because of the operating system. Fears, having these fears, like the fear to pull the trigger on something like that, the fear to put yourself in a situation like that, the fear to come to my house or to a workshop, those types of things, those types of fears, the fear to ask people to promote for you, the fear to run Facebook ads, the fear to create your own product, the fear to sell and close people, the fear to set appointments, the fear, all these fears in business, the fear to open an office, the fear to hire an employee, the fear to do any of that kind of stuff. All of that, the fear to put yourself out there, the fear to do a podcast, the fear to do your own YouTube channel, all of that fear-based stuff keeps you stuck in your current operating position, your current operating system position. So if you go out there and buy a Lamborghini, for example, let's say it's $2,500 a month, and you're used to driving a Toyota Camry, and now you're driving a Lamborghini, that's going to mess you up a little bit, isn't it? First of all, you're going to worry about what everyone thinks of you buying a Lamborghini. You're going to think of Aunt Jenny and what she's going to say on Facebook as soon as she sees a picture of your new Lambo. You're going to think about what your mom or dad are going to say when they say, "How dare you spend that much money on a Lamborghini? Shouldn't you be saving for retirement?" You're going to have your cousin Ralph is going to say to you, "Well, isn't your daughter about to go to college? Shouldn't you be paying for that and saving money instead of wasting it on a Lamborghini?" And you're going to hear all kinds of stuff from the broke people, from the operating systems that don't see that. But when you get around someone else, you got around me, I'm going to be like, "Way to go, brother. Awesome Lamborghini. Can I drive it?" It's different, right? It's a different mindset. You're going to feel guilty about having that Lamborghini if you're not used to that, if that's not in your operating system, if you don't see yourself driving such a vehicle. You're going to feel uneasy, guilty, unworthy. You're going to feel like you made a really huge, dumb mistake. You're going to feel like you're living beyond your means. You're going to feel like it was just dumb to do it. And you see, that is where you might drive down the road and say, "I'm sorry, I need to return this Lamborghini. Aunt Jenny said that I was being irresponsible. My mother said that I need to save for my retirement. My Uncle Bobby, Ricky Bobby, said that I need to put my daughter in college. I can't do it. I'm going to go back to my Toyota Camry." You might find yourself, though, on the other hand, driving around in that Lamborghini. Zoom, zoom, zoom. I can hear the engine, right? And you might feel differently. Perhaps you might feel ecstatic. You might feel jacked up on cloud nine. You love the feeling of that machine. You love driving that thing. You love the heads turned and checking it out and people taking pictures with it at the gas station. You love the feeling so much that you can't ever go back to the Toyota Camry. It feels too good. It matches your identity. It's what you want. It's who you want. It's who you strive to be. It's what you've always dreamed of, your dream car, and it is yours now, and all you got to do is come up with $2,500 a month. Surely you could do that. All you need to do is sell one more client. All you got to do is drive more advertising. All you got to do is this or that, and presto, you easily cover. You start justifying it. You're never going back to Toyota Camry land. You got the Lambo, and the feeling is too good. And next thing you know, you've been driving that Lamborghini for 3 or 4 years, and it's time for the new, upgraded Lamborghini or Bugatti. You're never going back to Toyota Camry land. And even if things just went to hell and you had to go back to Toyota Camry land, it's only temporary. You know as soon as possible, you're going to be back in that Lambo in no time flat. That is a new operating system. That is an example of changing your inner identity and becoming more. It feels too good. So you have this new mile marker set. You're permanently at a new level. You're permanently not going to go back no matter what. You will work day and night, do whatever is possible, whatever you have to do to not have to go back to the old operating system. The new operating system feels way too good. You change your identity. You raise your self-worth. You start drinking your own Kool-Aid. You start becoming immune to ridicule. For me, I now go with this motto. This is what I was created to do. I used to have a big problem with ridicule. I still do, but I'm getting better and better and better at it all the time. And you know why? Because I've adopted the belief that this, what I am doing right now on this call, is what I was created to do. I was created to take these systems and these principles and break them down into easy to digest ways so you can apply them to your business and success and get to the next level. I'm not going to be a fit for everyone, and I don't even care because I'm not even working for man. I was created to do this, and I'm going to do it, and I love it. I love it. There's nothing I love more. So ridicule, so be it. Go ahead and knock yourself out. Trolls, haters, naysayers. Become immune to ridicule. Because now you have a higher self-worth. You're drinking your own Kool-Aid. You're going to take the actions anyway. But how do we finally escape the vicious cycle and being stuck in the old operating system? What do we do? What do we do already to stop that? You're asking, Eric, you're screaming at the radio player here, right? Your MP3 player saying, what do I do? How do I finally get out of it? I get it. I'm in the wrong operating system. It's an old, corrupt, virus-infested operating system. What do I need to do to get to the next level? What do I need to get to a new, higher operating system? Tell me what I need to do already. Well, a lot of the things that we do to get to a new, higher operating system are actually going to be covered in these 21 Louviere laws. So stick around and watch and listen to the next ones. But one main thing is to change. Yes, I'm telling you to change because you can't get there from where you stand right now. You can't get there with the operating system you're running. You can't get there with how you are. You got to change you. You got to change who you are. You got to change your beliefs. You got to change how you think. You got to change how you act. You got to change how you breathe. You change how you walk and change everything, but especially in your own mind because that's where the battle is at. The fears snap us back to the old thermostat, the same old operating system, the default mode. In order to stop snapping back, you've got to change you because it's internally inside you that keeps sabotaging things or preventing yourself from taking the action. A lot of you that are listening to this right now, you already know what you need to do to get to the next level. You know the tactical steps that you need to take to get to the next level. You know the how and the what to do to get there, but you don't do it because you don't know why you're not getting there. You don't know why you're holding yourself back. You don't know why you're preventing yourself from getting there. We're going to cover those in the 21 Louviere laws, but one of the biggest ones of all is you need to change you. It's not doing more stuff that's going to get you to the next level. It's not doing more things. It's not putting in more hours or man hours that's going to get you there. It's not working harder, more hours, more man hours. It's doing things differently that's going to get you there. It's changing, doing things in a different manner. Okay? It's raising your own self-worth, your own self-expectations from the inside out. I used to listen to motivational stuff all the time to raise my state before I would go work out. Like I would get mentally prepared before I'd go to like CrossFit or something, So I'd listen to some motivational audios and stuff to get me all pumped up to go work out. Because I needed it because I didn't want to go work out. Okay? I wanted to work on my business. I wanted to do other things. I didn't want to go work out. So I had to get myself in this motivational state, this higher elevated state, in order to take the action. But once I was in that empowered state, I was 100 times more likely to have a really great workout and really push myself and get away from the scary type of thoughts and feelings that were holding me back. I really think when it really comes down to it, if you really want to know what you need to do to get out of your old operating system into a new empowered, shiny, new motivated, inspired, action-taking operating system, what you truly need to focus on is courage, bravery. Because the fears are what's crippling you. The fears are what's holding you back. The fears are what's snapping you back to your old operating system. So it's going to take a lot of consistent, listen to me, a lot of consistent, diligent, persistent courage and bravery on a daily, if not an hourly basis. Every hour, you should be having a new dose of courage. Every hour, you're escaping comfort zones all day long. If there's a comfort zone, destroy it. Don't let the fears of being comfortable keep you where you currently are. Don't look to other people, that's another Louviere law, to do it all for you. Put the responsibility on your own shoulders. But ultimately, you need courage and bravery to get to the new operating system. When it comes down to the core crux of what we're talking about here, the nuts and bolts of what it takes to get to a higher elevated operating system, the key word that you need to write in big letters and underline 15 times with a bunch of exclamation points is the word courage. Because that's what I see after all these years of trying to become successful, is some people have a sense of courage to go ahead and take the action, and others are scared, like silly little scared rabbits, to take the action. So most are too scared to do that thing that they want. We make excuses. We hold ourselves back from doing that thing that we want. We just cannot make ourselves go and do that thing to get what we want. It's too hard. It's not a habit yet. It's easy to do. It's easy not to do, so we put it off and procrastinate and distract ourselves. So we don't do that thing. But those who do those things, why do they do them? Well, because they have courage. They do it anyway. They do it anyway, despite the problems. They go ahead and take the action and do that thing and possess that courage to take the action anyway, despite problems or obstacles. Does that make sense? They do it anyway. Okay, we're going to nail this. They do it, the successful people, they go ahead and do it anyway, despite personal problems. They take the action anyway, despite fears, even. They feel the fear, they do it anyway. They feel the aches and pains, but they do it anyway. They're hungry, but they continue to fast. They do it anyway. You see what I mean? They do it anyway. They do it anyway despite the fears, despite being sick. They do it anyway. They do it anyway despite being broke. They do it anyway. They do it anyway despite being hurt or wounded or emotionally wounded or physically hurt. They do it despite being overweight or fat or ugly or tall or short. They do it anyway despite not having English as their first language or being from a foreign country that's not the United States where English is their first language. They do it anyway despite not being intelligent or smart or brilliant. They do it anyway despite that. They do it anyway despite not having a big degree from a college or finishing high school even. They do it despite a broken marriage or being divorced. They do it despite being depressed or even having clinical anxiety. They do it despite being disabled. They do it despite having to have 3 jobs and not any time. They do it despite having 13 kids to feed and take care of. They do it despite being lost and analysis paralysis or information overload or not having a clue. They do it anyway despite being lost. They do it anyway despite being old as dirt. They do it anyway, even though they're old as dirt. They go ahead and do it anyway. Screw it, I'm 98 years old, I'm going to do it anyway. They do it anyway despite being too young to even rent a car or to drink bourbon. Too young to drink bourbon, do it anyway. They do it anyway despite having PTSD or ADD or ADHD or WGAS. Do it anyway. Go to battle. Do it anyway. Go to battle. It is a battle against your old enemies, your old internal inner enemies, your old operating system, that old ball and chain that keeps snapping you back to your old crappy operating system that's not allowing you to get to the next level. You got to conquer and defeat and destroy those inner enemies, those fears. So you got to look at it like you're going to battle. You got to look like you're picking up your sword, you're putting on your body armor, you're putting on your steel helmet, and you're going to war against your inner mental enemies. It is a war. It is a battle. It is a fight, a dog fight, a junkyard dog fight against your inner mental enemies. That operating system. It's all in your mind. It's all in your mind and allowing yourself to want more, to be more. You're going to need to become more because your old jacked up operating system is too jacked up to get you to that higher level. It's not allowing you to get to that higher level of achievement. It's keeping you where you're at. Screw that thing. Steamroll over it. Run over it with a truck. Kick it into the dirt. Destroy it with your sword. Spit on it. Do whatever you got to do, but kill that old operating system and get to that new version of you. You need to go become more. Go become more. Invest in yourself. Invest in your mind. Invest in your soul. Invest in your state of mind. Go become more on the inside, baby. And that's Louviere law number 1.